sure if I'm live or not. Oof. Let's see. Let's see. Ah, there it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. Oh my goodness. So crazy. Whoops. And I'm pretty much cut off here. I don't know if any of you do Facebook Lives out there, but I just have to say, and I don't know if this is you or if it's just me. Sorry, I'm on my exercise ball, so sometimes I'm a little bit bouncy here. Just before my live happens, I find I'm always like, whew. Anyway, and I thought, wow, Denise, does this stress you out? And it doesn't. It's so much fun. But for some reason, I think I'm just always a little bit nervous if the technology is going to be friendly or not, because you never know. So I do see that there are, well, there's one person here anyway, so please say hi and let me know that you're here. I think I have volume and I hope I'm not frozen. So anyway, let me introduce myself. Hello, bonjour. My name is Denise Willerton, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. So if you would like to shop with me and you are Canadian, you can do so. If you have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, please stick around, but I'd like you to shop with your demonstrator because I'm not here to scoop anyone. And like I always say, if you share and let me know that you have shared, oh, there we go. Hi, Karen. Oh, that's okay. You need to do family first, always, always. I forgot to turn on my comments, so I didn't know who was here. Hi, Susan, welcome here, and you shared. I'm gonna write your name down right away. So that's what I was actually in the middle of saying, that I'm writing down shared. I need to write down Susan. When you do share, I will enter your name for a draw, and I always draw today's names next week. So today I am drawing the names from last week. You do not have to be present in order to be part of that. Let me bring the camera down. Hi, Shell, welcome here. Hello, Darlene, welcome here. Let me bring the camera down, and I think I'm ready. Ah, I think. Anyway, my table's a mess. Here we go. And let's spin that around. I think I am like way off here. Sorry, that was a really bad transition. Terribly bad. Anyway, sorry about that. Darlene, it's nice to see your name. And Shell and Susan. So we have just a few people on board today, and that is totally fine. Let's get started. I'm cleaning my table. I'm looking at the screen and I'm seeing how bad my table looks. Anyway, sorry about that. Let's turn on some lights a little bit, and hopefully that helps. Let's get this one on too. There we go. Okay. Just a few things that I want to chat about before I get going. I don't know, for those who were a part of my my little charitable donation thing here. So what I did was I called out and asked people to purchase a paper pumpkin so that I could deliver that on their behalf to Ronald McDonald House and House of Hesed. And so thank you very, very much for those that did participate. I want to thank Darlene, Mary Ann, the Hair Company, Hilda, Luana, Kathy, Chris, Karen, Denise, Cheryl, Diane, Donna, Connie, Gail, Rita, Brenda, Andy, Susan, Lorraine, actually 3 times. Thank you, that was beautiful. Carla, Todd, Richard, and Brian. So a shout out to all of those wonderful friends that took part in that. Now, I should have, yes, you know what? Before I brought the camera down, I meant to chat about that. There was a whole pile of boxes. When I bring the camera back up again, I'll make note of that. Thank you, Darlene, for that reminder. I think I was just, yeah, preoccupied. But there are a pile of paper pumpkin boxes behind me, and those are going to be delivered on Monday. I'm going to phone those 2 charitable donations tomorrow and get that all set up. There is Stampin' Up's seasonal sale on right now, 10% off of cardstock. If you need to stock up, perfect time. I did not go on the website, so I don't know for sure, but maybe someone can let me know if they know this for sure, that the basic white is right now not available. I guess there's just a real backlog on that. 15% off of ink pads and 20% off of the dies. Like, seriously, ladies, this is ridiculous. You need to jump in on this. Now, the other thing that I wanted to chat about was, and this can go in conjunction with this seasonal sale. If you want to join my team right now until the 30th of November, you can join for $100. You get $165 worth of product, and you can purchase the sale items as well. Okay, so if you want to jump in on that, let me know, or go to my website. I forgot an S here. https://denisewillerton.stampin.net. So if you would like to join my team, I would be very happy to have you. I am going to see if I can flip. There we go. That's better. When my iPad is not set up a certain way, I don't see the comments quite as easily. So again, Susan, thank you for sharing. I do have your name. Let me bring these up so you can see that. So Susan, your name is going in next week for the draw. Let's get to why we have all popped in today. Actually, before we get there, I want to show you just some real cute, super simple, super easy Christmas cards that I've been knocking off. So this is that celebration glitter paper, and I should have brought that forward. My design paper is from the Tidings of Christmas, and actually, if you look at all of this, these are scraps from cutting other cards, okay? Now, all of the design paper on every single one of these cards, Sherry, thank you. I've got you down as shared. Whoops. Thank you for that. I appreciate that very much. So all of these scraps created these cards, okay? So this is just, and all I've done was I've taken real red, and I've also taken, here's just a tiny piece of it, but anyway, I've also taken the Evening Evergreen, and I framed out the DSP just to create different cards. So same idea, using scraps, but right there, 5 completely individual cards. So super easy, super quick, just get them done, right? Thank you so much, Susan. I really appreciate that. Now let's get to today's card, and I'm still using the same DSP, and it is a piece of scrap as well. So let me show you what that is all about. There it is. So here's what I've used if you want a reference, and here's the card. Okay, so these are all the dimensions, and I'm pretty sure that I am in camera. Let's see, I'm just going to move that up just a smidge more. So my card base is your standard A2 card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, I used real red that measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. My basic white panel is 5 by 4 1/4. Now this panel here was just scrap, so you can use any scrap that you have just to, thanks Star, just to create this little element here. So this was a piece of scrap, but I did measure it out for you. The real red is 2 7/8 by 2 3/8, and the DSP is 2 3/4 by 2 1/4. So you're going to find this DSP, and it's beautiful. It's 6 by 6. I've got mine in a little Ziploc bag, but it's really, really sweet design paper, and that's in the annual catalog. You're going to find that on page 133. For this element here, I don't know if you can see, and I sparkled it up again with shimmer mist because I still have some. Please, Stampin' Up, bring that back, please. So there's the Merry Melody embossing folder. I love this folder, and I do want to chat about this for a bit here when I get to that, okay? For my sentiment, I use the Scallop Contours die, so that's what this is right here. And for my sentiment, I used May the love of the season warm your heart and home and warm your home and fill your heart from the Whimsical Trees. Love, love, love this bundle. I think it is my most favorite bundle. And I'm never getting rid of it. You know how sometimes we purge our retired items? Not going to happen. Not going to happen. So what I did here with this first card, there's no shimmer mist on it, okay? So this, hi Terry, welcome here. This one here, I did use the retired shimmer mist just to give it a little bit of sparkle. I don't know if you can see the difference, and you probably can't. Yeah, Dar, I'm placing an order today, so let me know. I'm going to be hitting send around 9 o'clock tonight, okay? So if you want in on that cardstock, what am I trying to say here? Cardstock sale, you can grab that too. And for the bundle, you know what? I need to do the math. Let me figure that out after my live, because if the dies are 20% off, I think you get a bigger saving if you order the stamp set for the Whimsy Trees and you order the bundle individually and not as a bundle. So anyway, something to consider. So let me do the math after my live, and I'll text you and let you know. Now I'm going to create this card today, and I'm going to show you a few tricks along the way. Okay, let me get my elements out. Okay, here we go. There's my card base, 8.5 by 5.5. Oh, you already did. Okay, great. Oh, right, it's the bundle that you wanted. Yeah. So I pre-stamped and pre-scored everything. But you know what? Let's chat about this for a minute. Let me pull in. Here's that embossing folder. And if I take, let me see. I'm not sure what color would show up better. Let's see, if I took a black, I just want to show you something inside this embossing folder. Can you see that? Or would it be better with white? Oh no, you can see it really good. Okay, so I'm holding the embossing folder. It opens this way. Okay, so that's facing me. Now, if I put my cardstock in there, you can see all the musical notes and everything. But now, if I scoot to the far right side, look what happens. There really is a right side and a wrong, or there really is a top or a bottom. Because if you look here to the far right, okay, oh, hey, Barb, are you here? I can't see you. Let me know, Barb, and let me know that you shared. Well, I mean, you did obviously share, but if you look right here on this edge, you're going to see the staff and the treble clef, right? For all you musical people, you know what that is, right? Do you see that? So there really is a top and a bottom. So if you want the staff and the treble clef in your embossed item, make sure you go to the far right, okay? And it is showing up upside down to you. So if I flip this around, so now it is right side, right? You can see the treble clef and the staff all along this edge. Now make sure when you put this in your cut emboss machine or your Big Shot or whatever it is that you're using, that your folded side goes in first, okay? If you feed the open side in, you will eventually crack the spine, okay? So make sure you put that in properly, okay? Barb, darling, are you here? And you know what, Barb, I will write your name because Darlene did say that you shared, so thank you for that. And maybe, Barb, maybe that's why I've been missing some of your share comments, because you've been commenting elsewhere. I'm not sure how that, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's get to our card, okay? So here is our real red cardstock, and of course I have pre-embossed this. Let's put that down on our panel. And where's my silicone sheet? I really do not like using my glue without my silicone sheet. Who has a silicone sheet out there? Does anybody have a silicone sheet? I've got about a 30-second delay on my comments. But I'm just curious, who else uses a silicone mat or silicone sheet? You have 4. There you go. That's awesome, Shell. I only have the one. Actually, no, that's not true. I have 2. I've got one at home and I've got one at the lake. So there, and I put too much glue up in that corner, as you can see. It oozed out a smidge. Now what I want to do is I'm going to wrap this with a ribbon before I put that down on my card base. And I'm going to show you a little trick that I do, okay? So I want this wrapped right around, and I usually muck this up. So if I go one full wrap and another half wrap and a smidge more, that is probably long enough for what I want to do. Now, you know when you're wrapping gifts, Christmas presents, birthday presents, and you holler to your kids, I need a finger, and they all come running? This is my answer to, I don't have any kids left in my house, so here's where I would call, I need a finger, and so I need a finger right now. Let me show you what I like to do. I usually get myself, when I know that that I'm going to be doing this, I usually get myself ready with my Take Your Pick tool and a little glue dot. Hello, Barb, you are here. Yay, welcome here. And I do have your name down for sharing, so thank you, Barb. Yeah, what a great way to use up your scraps of DSP. So here is where I'd be hollering at my kids, I need a finger, but I've got a glue dot under here. I'm just going to put that down where I need my finger, and ta-da, there is the finger, okay? So I love that, and I use that all the time. Let's finish our little knot, like so. And I am a little bit long, so I didn't quite need as much as I thought. And let's just, and then see how it's sticking up like that? If you put your finger under the knot a little bit, come on, work with me. And of course, it's not going to happen today because I'm live, because this usually works for me each time. Nope, not going to happen today. I just don't want those sticking out like that. But they will eventually rest, and I just need to, I got a little bit of fraying happening there, so let's just take care of that. Okay, So that's down. Now I'm going to take my DSP. So here are, Susan, did you see my other cards at the beginning of the video that I showed, or did you just see these? Let me know, because if you didn't, I want to show you again. So here's that design paper. Which way should I go? Do we want the chevron up, or do we want the DSP? Oh my goodness, Dar, I wish, oh my goodness, that Stampin' Up still sold this, because these are my favorite scissors, and that's all I use is for ribbon. That's all I use. So what side up, ladies? Do we want the flourish up, the non-chevron? Okay, there we go. Let's put adhesive on the chevron side. So Susan, let me know if you think you missed it. Okay. You know what? If this is a good time, let me know if this is a good time, because I do know that you're at work, Susan. And if it is, I can quickly show you those again. And all it is the same DSP, and they were actually my scraps. And I framed them out. Now I wished I would have had my, see how that's not, let's move this a little bit here. Come on up, there we go. Tore my cardstock a smidge, but it's not going to show. Give this a little bow, and then I can scoot that over like so. There we go. I think that's going to help. Yes, it is. I am going to, you're back on a 15-minute break. Okay, let me quickly show you. Here is what I did, and this is just scraps, Susan. This is that glitter from Celebration, and these are all just scraps that I framed out with either Evening Evergreen or Real Red. And this one actually I think is Cherry Cobbler. So just scraps. That's all it is. Tracy and Vicky, welcome here, ladies. So I'm just showing some real quick Christmas cards that I did using scraps. Okay, scraps of DSP. Frame those out using coordinating cardstock. This one I did not frame out. This is just that glitter paper from Celebration. And frame that out, put a little smidge of a ribbon there. This was, I can't remember what that was. It's obviously a pack, and again, just the glitter. So just using up your scraps, okay? No rhyme or reason, just use up those scraps. Okay, back to our card. So I've got that down on there, and for the ladies that just popped in, don't forget to share. I will add your name for a draw, and I'll draw that next week. You do not need to be present for that, okay? Let's put that down. I want a little bit of a border or an edge. Do I want? Yeah, I like it there. My voice just cracked. I don't know if you heard that. Yeah. And of course, I pre-stamped and pre-cut. And again, I used the sentiment from Whimsical Trees. Here's everything that I've used. And also the scallop contour dies. Okay, let's remove our backing. And we're going to pop that right onto our design paper. Whoops, that one did not come off. Who has started their Christmas shopping, or who is finished? Ugh. I haven't really started. I'm putting that right up here. So all I'm doing is I'm eyeballing left and right and top so that I am somewhat the same distance. Let's get some rhinestones. There they are. Now, if you missed the beginning of the video, I talked about the Merry Melody embossing folder and how there really is a right, there is a, what am I trying to say here? I think I'm tired. I can't think of what I want to say. There is a, you know, there is like a top and a bottom, or, you know, if you look on the edge, you're going to see the treble clef and the staff. So there is actually a correct way. You're close to being finished. Dar, I bought my first gift yesterday, one. I came across a Yeti, which is like a drink, like a fancy cooler system. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Oh, I am exhausted. Okay, and you know what? Let's get one down. Where do I want this one? I don't want it on the DSP, I don't think. How about right there? I think I'm liking it there. Good for you though, Dar. That's great. You know what? I think I am liking this here, and because there is about a 30-second delay, not sure how long I want to keep you all here waiting. Let's get some adhesive behind there. Now, who wants to watch me put together a really quick Christmas card? Let's straighten that up just a smidge. There we go. And where did I put my card base? Darlene is close to being finished, and Denise is close to having just started. I want to do tie-dye t-shirts for our grandkids too, so I need to get on that. So there it is, a super quick card, okay? And sometimes when it comes to Christmas cards, especially if you have a lot of cards that you want to send out, it's a really good idea to work smarter and not harder, and to just knock them off. So who wants to watch me create a fast Christmas card using my scraps, because they are sitting right in front of me. So again, here's my scraps. Okay, so all I do, my starting place is I grab the scrap that I want to use. That might be kind of cute. And that. Let's see what happens. That's probably too long, so let's just give that a little trim, because I don't want that to be the whole length of my card. So if I cut this one here at 3 inches, I now have 2 little pieces that I can use. So I've got that for actually another card. And I for sure want that framed out in my evening evergreen. So look at that. That already fits. I could have used that side too. I just don't happen to have any cherry cobbler in front of me. So let's put that down right there. And that I can probably find a smaller strip that is going to fit in there. Let's just cut that. I'm not even measuring. I am not measuring. Let's get that framed. And do I happen to have, let's see, is that the same size? It is, okay. So that would fit that way. So let's just cut a smidge off of my design paper. So if I cut off, where am I? If I cut off about 1/4 of an inch, I think I will be okay. Or 1/8 of an inch. I think that was closer to 1/8 of an inch. I like that. So I'm not even worried, like that's beautiful too, even to have a softer card and kind of non-traditional, right? Staying away from the red, the dark red and the dark green. So I don't know if you've noticed, like I'm always working on my silicone mat, and you know what? I want a ribbon around that. Okay, so let's do that finger trick. Do I want red or green? Let's see. Yep, let's stick with the red. So again, I'm going to measure this by wrapping it around once and wrapping it around again. So there's the length that I want. And here's my call out for, I need a little bit more on that side. I need a finger. So here is where my take your pick and my glue dot comes in. Grab your glue dot so you're ready to go. Put your finger down, lift up your ribbon a smidge, put your dimensional under or your glue dot under it, and you are set. Your ribbon is tied. There we go. And that is ready to go, and I think I want that too. And do I have a small piece of, let's see, is that longer or shorter? Doesn't really matter. Okay, let's just cut a smidge off of here again, because I know what I want to do. Who's still with me? Or have I bored you all to tears? Put a little bit of adhesive back there. So on my silicone mat is where I always like to put my adhesive, but you know what? This is also the reason why I love my silicone mat, because I then just pick up my element by lifting the silicone mat because it's super simple. You are here. Okay, so I'm just looking at my track and I'm kind of eyeballing. I'm not even looking for precision, not for this. It's just fast and easy, okay? And that's actually a little too wide for my liking. And I see that I'm a smidge crooked. There we go, I like that better. I like a thin border. So there are 3 of my little scraps that I'm going to use. And you know what? You don't even have to frame them out, because this one here, like what's wrong with that? That one doesn't even have a frame. And of course my little caddy is ready to go, but I have no basic white. Oh, really? I do not have a basic white in there, but I had one sitting behind it. Okay, so here's my basic white panel, and now all I'm gonna do, you're multitasking. Darlene, what are you working on? I am just trying to figure out how I want this. I like that tall, but you know what? I also want a little sentiment, so let's do that. I do not have a block close by, but I've got this. I keep my Stamparatus beside me in a little Dollar Tree, wishing you Christmas cheer and magical moments that last all year. Oh, that's cute, hey? Let your heart be light. Let's do that. I have not inked this one up yet. Okay, so if I want that, I need to make sure that wishing you, here's another little trick that I do. In my caddy, I always have a, that's just an overhead projector. I make sure that I'm right in the corner. I want to make sure that this is square. And let's grab Evening Evergreen. Oh, good for you, Dar. I'll have to watch for it. I'm going to ink this up, and I'm not stamping this on my card front yet. I want to make sure that I'm square. This just gives me an idea where it would be on my card. Do you see that? And it's quite dirty. I need to wipe it up, but I love it. I love where it is. So now I'm good to go. I always have an overhead projector sheet close by, and that's the reason, because I want to make sure that I'm square and that I like the placement of where I'm going. And I had a little bit of, see that? I had some Evening Evergreen on my finger. So we're going to have to take care of that. Okay, let's get these elements on here. Let's see if my trusty mono is going to work. Is that dry enough yet? I can always put a gem on it if I need to, which is what is going to happen. So now I'm just eyeballing where I want these placed. And you know what? What do you think about that? And what else do I have sitting here on my table? That. Okay, let's move that there. I want to hide that. So if I do 3 stars like so, I'm happy with that. I am very happy with that. Super simple. Get rid of your scraps. Start cleaning up. Do simple Christmas cards. And girls, if you haven't shared, don't forget to share, and I will enter your name for a draw. So far, I've got 4 gals for next week, and I've got my names from last week ready to go. Let's put these elements down. I want to be able to mail this, so I don't want too many dimensionals on there, although you still can, because it won't really make a difference in your postage as long as it's not too high or too thick. Okay, so that element is down. I'm going to put a dimensional behind the stars. That's what I really want to pop up and be the visual. So again, just a great way to get rid of some of your scraps, okay? Nothing fancy on these ones, but I will show you all the other ones that I created, and the one actually that we did for today's Facebook Live. Let's put that one like so. I'm kind of going even with that side. let's put a dimensional behind here. Where are they? Whoopsie. Right smack in the middle. And that's going to cover where I had evening evergreen on my finger, and nobody would ever know unless you tell them. Let's put a little dot on there and on there. Where did my tweezers go? Oh no. There we are. Just tip that a little bit and grab it. One like that, and one like that. So on purpose, they're kind of wonky. So when did I start that? I don't know if anybody was timing me. I think I made this one in, I don't know, I would say about 10 minutes. So if you're doing assembly line, you don't even have to mat these out. You could just put your pieces of scrap design paper down and just knock off a whole whack of Christmas cards, okay? So, so that was one from scrap. That is one from scrap. This is what we did today for my live. This was scrap. Whoops, I need to come up a little bit. Sorry about that, girls. Here's another one, just using little pieces of scrap. And again, little pieces of scrap. And this one too. And then I used one of those beautiful stars. And then this was what my Facebook Live today was actually all about. So look at that. I've got 5, I've got 9 more Christmas cards to pop into my stash for this year. Ladies, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to bring the camera up, and I am going to draw for those that shared last week. It's still not too late to share this week if you would like to be added for next week. And let me show you who shared last week. And there were not very many that shared, so you stand a really good chance of winning today. Barb, thank you for sharing last week. Dar, thank you for sharing last week. Kathy, thank you for sharing last week. And Sherry, thank you for sharing last week. And actually 4 names, and today I have 4 names for next week. Let me bring the camera up. Hopefully you're not going to be too dizzy. Hang tight. And let's see. Okay, now this is what I forgot. Sorry, as I just moved back here a little bit. Here we go. Okay, if you notice right here behind me, thank you for all of those that participated in my fundraising charity. What am I trying to say? Charitable donation. So thank you. This was not all me. This was a whole whack of you that participated in this, and I appreciate that so much. I am going to get a hold of Ronald McDonald House and House of Hesed this afternoon before their doors close, and figure out a good time to drop that off. So let's choose the winner for the draw for today, and you get to choose any one of those Christmas cards that I showed you. So I hope you're ready to make a decision, and if you're not here, I will just send one. Susan, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, I've got one name. Let me see. Who is winning? Drum roll, please. Kathy. And I did not see Kathy here today. She's a friend that just lives down the street. So we will need to, yeah, she'll have to pop over and grab it. And yes, we are close to, so my mom's building, and Barb is so sweet. She jumped in and said, Denise, I can help you with this. So last week during my live, I had mentioned that I made a very hard decision, and I know you were all sitting there with bated breath like, what is she doing now? But I made a hard decision, and I was going to phone the people that run the block where my mom lives, because I had offered to bring one Christmas card to every resident in my mother's block, and that's 147. And so I've been trying to knock off Christmas cards and getting my own personal Christmas cards done at the same time, and just thought, what am I doing? I am putting so much on myself, and I'm feeling the stress level rise, because I don't want to I don't want to disappoint, right? And so I never did call them, because during that live, Barb said, how many do you need? I'll help you. And so I'm like, are you serious? So I called her after, and we chatted. And so she had a bunch still, and I think she knocked off a bunch more. Thank you, Barb. You are so sweet. So I have some goodies for her in exchange for that. So I'm going to be picking up the cards that she made, along with, I think I'm at about 30 now, I think. With the cards that I made, plus I've got a whole bunch more here, and I am going to, in fact, deliver Christmas cards to the building that my mother lives in, and they're just going to slip a card under everybody's door, compliments of Denise and Barb. So again, thank you for that, Barb. So yeah, I'm going to get a hold of Kathy. She's going to choose the Christmas card that she wants for that. Again, if you want to join my team and you live in Canada, great time to do so. You have till the end of the month. For $100, you get $165 worth of product. You do not need to do what I do. You do not need to do Facebook Lives. You don't have to blog. You don't have to you don't have to teach classes. You can just grab $165 worth of product for $100. Anyway, entirely up to you. Although I love the I love my Stampin' Up gig. I do. I love that I joined 13 years ago, and I still get a discount on doing something that I love doing. So consider joining my team. I would love to have you. And with that, I am going to say salut. Have a lovely evening. Thank you everyone so much for joining. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for chatting with me today. It's done my heart good. It's been a hard week. I need to tell you that. It's been a hard week. Everything that's happening in British Columbia, Canada right now, our son lives there, and actually he was on the road with his family, and that mudslide on the Coquihalla happened, and I'm going to start crying here. But that mudslide on the Coquihalla happened about half an hour after he had just driven past. So God's hand of protection on him, and my heart goes out to all those that that are feeling this. And you know, the grocery stores being empty, and so far the one lady that has lost her life. And so yeah, it runs pretty dear to my heart. So anyway, before I lose it, I am going to say goodbye. Have a lovely rest of the day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you for blessing me in joining in this. Barb, thank you for blessing me with helping out with the residents in my mother's home. You girls, all of you, you mean the world to me. Thank you so, so much. We will talk to you later, okay? Bye-bye.